involving this individual, I think it only makes sense for me to finally tell my story about my personal problems with Seth the Programmer. So a number of years ago, I met Seth online through the YouTube community, particularly on Twitter. And during that time, I was looking for new people to collaborate with on my channel for Dragon Ball and other kinds of content. I had seen a couple of Seth's videos at that point, and I thought, he seemed like he was knowledgeable about the franchise. He liked to reference the Daizenshu and other guidebooks and things like that. So he obviously was on a level above most Dragon Ball fans in terms of knowledge, especially when it came to power scaling, even if he and I didn't really agree on every single aspect. So I reached out to him and asked him if he was interested in collabing with me on a video at some point. He said that he was, and everything seemed to be fine, until I went and watched some more of his videos that came out after that. And I started to see him doing something that really bothered me, which was that he was trashing and insulting a number of my friends. And that was something that I really wasn't going to support. I didn't want to work with someone who was going and actively attacking people larger than him in order to gain a greater amount of clout and following and things of that nature, which is definitely one of the things that Seth tended to do throughout the course of his career, especially early on. So I went to Seth and I told him about this, and I told him that I didn't want to work with him as long as he was still doing that. And not just that, but I felt like those types of tactics ultimately diminished his channel, diminished his content, and diminished him as an artist and as a creator. Because every time you talk about something like that in one of your videos, ultimately that's really what it becomes about. You kind of taint everything around it in order to instead turn it into, I'm smarter than these people, I'm better than these people, trust me, take my word. And, I stand by that to this day. And that's something that Seth, like I said before, really kind of built up his channel on early on with all those, quote unquote debunk videos where he saw a larger channel. He said, oh, well, guess what? I'm going to debunk them and present my own opinion as fact in a very aggressive way. And my audience will respond to it a certain way. I'll grow larger because I'll be in the algorithm with that video. And then in turn, grow my channel as a result. And that's a tactic that I never have agreed with, and I feel like is in many ways kind of against my own morality. So that's a reason I chose not to work with Seth, and I also told my friends probably they shouldn't do the same thing either. Now, at that point, Seth and I ended up turning into kind of a sort of antagonistic relationship where Seth, he was really into the whole debating thing. He started to, as a result, kind of come after me more and more in a number of my friends as a result, making fun of us, doing things that, were very immature, very aggressive, very negative. And as a result, he started to try and debate me, saying, oh, debate me over this topic, debate me over that, which honestly, I have no interest in debating. When I was younger, when I was like a teenager and early adult, I used to debate politics and economics and things that were, I guess you could say more important, more real world applicable. And so I grew out of that. I wasn't interested in doing that anymore. And I haven't debated in years because of that. So when Seth kept saying debate me, I said no. And then of course, Seth started to send pictures of ducks to me. He started to say, you're ducking me, you're doing this, you're doing that, and trying to antagonize me. And so as a result, I did what any rational human being would do in this type of situation, and I blocked him on Twitter. Then his friend at the time, Chuck, came and started to do the same thing, calling me a cockroach, insulting me in other ways, and sending pictures my way as well. And so, as a result, I blocked him too. And because of this, the both of them were so upset that I'd blocked them on Twitter, because really of their own actions, that they went and did their famous debunk video on Chuck's channel, where they basically spent the vast majority of it attacking me, attacking my friend MJ, over the Super Saiyan Rose multiplier video we did, which honestly, at the time I made that video, I wasn't really 100% on board with anything we said in there. I was falling out of the whole power scaling craze that was going on in the franchise, and I had seen that the power scaling in Super was quite frankly terrible. So As a result, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. I didn't really care that much when I upload the video. I didn't even go in and make adjustments like I initially planned to. I was like, whatever, this number isn't a big deal. This fandom, has different numbers and theories and things like that. So I'll just put one out there and we'll see what happens. But, it ended up becoming a massive deal because the fact that Seth and Chuck, came and they attacked me over it, and they used it to not only insult me and claim that I didn't know what I was talking about with the fandom and a franchise that I've memorized the manga that's literally right behind me to where I could just flip it open and read it and do anything at any point like that. But also the fact of the matter is, like, not only did they do that, which really wasn't that big of a deal, whatever. Somebody made a response video to a video I've done. Other people have done that in the past, and he disagreed with me. Okay, there's different opinions. The bigger issue is that they sent their fans after me to attack me, which went on for years. And during this time, I would constantly get people insulting me and attacking me on my own videos, on videos that other people were making that I just commented on because I liked them or that I wanted to give my own opinion. And so as a result, this went on for years, and it was something that really bothered me. It was something that really frustrated me because, it was kind of ridiculous, the whole situation in the first place that spawned because if somebody got butthurt on Twitter that I blocked them.
And yet another person on Seth the Narcissist list, man. It just seems like everybody's coming out and having a backstory now. Seth being an asshole back in the day. Like, tell me what y'all think about it in the comments. Is Seth a fucked up person, or is he just a victim of how the toxic the culture was back then, man? Let me know what y'all think. It's the hub where you can get all anime content, all podcast content. Like and subscribe for more videos.